If Joe Biden is doing so well, why is Nancy Pelosi talking about the 25th Amendment? For those of you, I've been trying to tell you, Donald Trump will win the election. I did a video about it. I gave you lots of reasons, and I told you, get off the ledge. Stop tormenting yourself if you're a conservative. And for the record, for YouTube, I want you to understand, if I would analyzing Barack Obama, I would just be giving an analysis. This is nonpartisan Kevin Jackson giving you the scoop. And I asked the simple question, if Nancy Pelosi is so confident, and if the Democrats are so confident that Joe Biden's going to win the election, why is she talking about the 25th Amendment? Why is it the constant barrage, the constant attack on Donald Trump if they've got it in the bag? Look at the polling. Joe Biden's winning in all the battleground states. Joe Biden is winning everywhere. By 1,023%. How do anybody that wants to vote for Trump, how do you have any hope at all that Donald Trump could possibly win? I mean, just pull a poll out. Rasmussen poll. I just saw one that says post-debate, Trump's no longer closing the gap. Biden's leading nationally by 8%. 8%. If you believe that, there's some mountain, there's a mountain home in Louisiana I'd like to sell you. There's a sunny beach in Antarctica I'd like to get for you, right? Just sign here. It's insane. Everything common sense wise. And as I said, I talked about this in a previous video where I gave you many reasons why Trump would win, but I'm analyzing this. So what's Nancy Pelosi doing? There's a lot of subterfuge going on. And part of it, I think, is because the director of national intelligence, Ratcliffe, just gave a document dump to John Durham that has slowed Durham down from prosecution. He's saying, I had indictments, I've impaneled grand juries, and you know what? There are more people to get. How did he come by this evidence? Well, they found out through John Brennan, a former head of the CIA, the director of the CIA, in his own handwriting, that Hillary Clinton is the one who started all this nonsense about Russia, and that Barack Obama knew. Now, the other side, look, do what you want. You want to ignore this? Ignore it. I'm not here to tell you. I'm not here to judge. I ain't going to judge. Just because you really shouldn't be wearing that bikini, that's your biz. But here's what I'm telling you. You better come to a realization very quickly that maybe Barack Obama didn't have the most scandal-free administration that he said, because John Brennan got a get out of jail free card not too long ago from John Durham, and I think you're getting hits for it. So again, I'm beginning to believe there's a bit of a shake in the confidence of the Democrats. Now, you may, if you're a Democrat, a leftist, a liberal, a progressive, and you hang around others and you guys have convinced each other otherwise, I really want to know that source of confidence. Because I'm watching Donald Trump beat the Wu flu. And what the very first thing that happens after this man comes out, waves, salutes from the top of the White House. How dare he do that? He could get people sick. The dude was 1,000 miles away from the nearest anybody, and they're still talking about him getting people sick. He's in the age demographic. He was supposed to be dead, right? He's over 70 years old. And what does Donald Trump do? They take his x-ray, and there's a meme, and he's got a Superman crest in his x-ray. Dude survives it. I said he put the Kung flu on the Wu flu. So if this was supposed to be a lesson for Donald Trump, a lesson in science, right? And a lesson in now you can understand, you can empathize with everybody else is going through. He looked at this and said, look, pretty much I had the sniffles. And let's get back to normal. Now, what did he do? And I talked about this a little bit in the other video. I said, Donald Trump said to Nancy Pelosi, I'm not negotiating on any more, what do they call it, stimulus packages until after my reelection. And he said it pretty calmly. I'll do it when I'm back, when we get back. It's kind of like when Barack Obama said to Medvedev, he says, well, I'll be able to do have a lot more flexibility with you Russians during my second term. Now, Trump didn't allude to being in cahoots with the Russians like Barack Obama, but he did allude to being in cahoots with the American people, because he says, I'm not going to let you put pork, Nancy, and bail out all these cities and all these states where the governors have intentionally kept people locked down and people can't get back to work and they're creating their own problem. I'll give money back to the people and I'll give money to companies to keep them afloat while I start strategizing on part 2 of the Trump administration. So I come back to this. While the subterfuge, Nancy comes out, she does a press conference and says, well, I'm not really talking about now. No, not right now. We don't want to get him now. What are you saying, Nancy? You're going to get him in the second term? You're going to continue this peaceful transition of power? Now, again, YouTube and the censors and the leftists out there paying attention to me. I'm a pragmatist. If the same thing were happening to Barack Obama, I'd be defending him. I'd be talking about this the same way. Just happens that it's the rich white Republican president. So don't get your panties in a wad or your undies, or if you're going commando, don't let your junk shake too close to the trunk. I don't know what you would say to that, but just be cool. Because this is a conversation that I would have with anybody about this particular issue. So I'm asking the Democrats and the people on the left, what's going on with your dear leader? Why is she doing this? It's less than 3 weeks before the election, and Nancy Pelosi's talking about the 25th Amendment, an incapacitated president. Donald Trump comes out of the Wu flu looking like a champ. It wasn't like he was looking like Joe Biden, where he's raised up the teleprompter and he's reading say this, oh, speak now. He's reading off a teleprompter. Donald Trump came out lucid. Everybody, hey, I want you to understand I'm doing great. He didn't have notes. He didn't have a teleprompter. He did none of that. So what's it about? That's the question Democrats should be asking themselves. Now, I contend, yet again, easy victory for Trump. All the talk about, absentee balloting and all, these are all distractions. We're going to count until, the year 2023, and then we'll figure out who did it. All a distraction. You're not hearing very much about the SCOTUS pick. Amy Coney Barrett will be confirmed in the Supreme Court because it's Trump saying, I'm large and I'm in charge. So why all the hoopla? Why all the look over here? Hey, look over there. Because I believe Nancy Pelosi knows the way I know Donald Trump's going to get reelected. You might not like that. I don't know how you couldn't, because it means your stock portfolio went up. It means you're probably going to have a job. It means you're probably going to go back to work. You might even be thinking about taking a vacation. It means your kids are going to get back into school, the way normal things work in normal life. You're no longer going to have to be parent and educator. Therefore, Simon Legree, because you gotta whoop that butt when it's you taking care of your kids 24/7. You need the break, and so do they. So it's going to happen. As my grandfather used to say, discipline disappointment, because it's going to keep happening. And it also makes you stronger for understanding the outcome. Now, I want to say one other point about Nancy Pelosi. I don't believe in my entire life I've ever seen somebody who is just ideologically against the person in the Oval Office. You could argue Republicans didn't dote on Barack Obama. They didn't agree with his policies. Maybe even some of them didn't like him, not just because he was black, which is what everybody wants to say. They didn't like his ideology because it was not pro-American. And he demonstrated that time and time again. But there was not a concerted effort to get rid of him. Now people, you were questioning is he really a citizen? Well, there was a group of people out there questioning that. But were they actively trying to impeach him and do these other things? And did it interfere with him doing his job? Short answer is no. Barack Obama had the first 2 years of his in office, the best time of his professional career was the first 2 years in office. He got a pass because he was black. He was running on rock star fumes, not even fumes. They were fueling him up with rock star juice. You know what? Bang energy drinks or whatever. I say that because one of my buddies owns Bang. But anyway, they were fueling this man with this. He was going around the world as a rock star, talking to people with hundreds of thousands in the audience. And what did he accomplish in those first 2 years? when he could have done anything. He had full control, the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and he was appointing people to the courts. And what did he accomplish? Absolutely nothing. His keepsake thing that he did was Obamacare. And if leftists will admit it, if you can get them to jump off the high horse for just a minute and actually admit what was going on, you know what they'll tell you? It was a failure. They were afraid to go to the hospital. It's like taking X-Lax and somebody saying, I dare you to go fart, because you ain't going to do it. Not unless you buy the bathroom. So Barack Obama's namesake policy that he actually says, yeah, go ahead and call it that, is a failure. People getting charged money because they didn't want to buy your stinking insurance, a mandatory insurance that costs 2 to 3 times what they were paying before. Yeah, everybody wants to sign up for that. But Democrats want to make, well, it was pre-existing conditions. Yeah, let me tell you, most insurances cover pre-existing conditions. It covers your asthma. It covers your seborrhea, your psoriasis, your gout, or whatever else. But what it doesn't usually cover is dramatic stuff. There's other insurances for dramatic things. Look, I'm off topic, and you did it. You got me off topic. I ain't mad at you, but I'm irritated. So at the end of the day, ask yourself a very simple question. Why is Pelosi, who's got all the polling in her favor, every time you turn around, we're not even going to have Biden debate. I heard Frank Luntz say, if Trump doesn't debate Biden the second time, it's a shoo-in for Biden. Frank Luntz, that is the most idiotic thing I would say came out of your mouth, except when you actually said you were for Obama, which I knew you were in the first place. It was an idiotic comment. Donald Trump does not need to debate Biden. You know the deal. He doesn't need to debate that dude in order to win this election. He's already won this election. And you should look at what Nancy Pelosi just signaled to you in case you don't believe me. I'm going to leave it there.